Hey, glad you're here. I've been sitting with this monitor every evening for weeks now, and it's wild how much a display can change how you feel about your setup. This Samsung Odyssey G740 is for the person who can sense when visuals are good enough and knows it's time for a great. For someone who doesn't just play games, but lives inside them, who notices every color shift, every blur, every frame that's just a little off. Before anything else, take a moment to check the current price and stock. Stuff like this moves fast, and you don't want the moment you decide to upgrade to be the moment it sells out or spikes in cost. You probably realized it was time to upgrade the second you compared your old monitor to something with real power. Maybe you were in a fast shooter and suddenly the edges looked muddy, or a cutscene in a story game didn't feel immersive anymore. That creeping frustration, that's your brain telling you you've outgrown compromise. When you make the jump to this Odyssey, the relief hits instantly. You're not adjusting settings. You're not squinting at confusing UI. You just see colors that feel alive, motion that actually feels smooth, and that curve, it wraps the world around you in a way flat screens just can't touch. Picture this, you're in a sprawling RPG and the world pulls you in so deep you forget everything outside the screen. Or you're in a ranked match where every millisecond counts, and the difference between your reactions and your opponents becomes clearer. Or you're just watching a movie and suddenly notice details you didn't even know were there. That's the feeling this panel gives you, not numbers on a spec list, but pure visual presence. Let me tell you something most people don't expect. Once you've experienced that 180Hz refresh with 1 millisecond response on a curve this wide, going back feels like stepping out of a theater into a tiny room. You feel the speed and space, not just read about it. You notice depth that pulls you in, smooth frames that actually feel responsive, highlights that don't wash out, shadows that hold detail, and tone motion that feels immediate and real. It's a big display, so it takes up space. Top-tier visuals ask a capable GPU, and here's the thing, comparing specs stops mattering once your eyes catch up with what your mind knew was possible. You've looked at lesser screens and felt the draw back to this one every time, because you don't want to settle again. This is exactly the upgrade people push off, telling themselves later, and then look back wishing they'd made the leap sooner. If you want that feeling where your setup finally feels like it matches your ambition, check the price now and make the move before it slips away.